Come lying down. Let your body sink down into the earth. Just beginning to come into your yoga space. Taking a few deep breaths here. Inhaling deep into the lower belly, feeling the lower belly rise as you inhale. And as you exhale, the belly button retracts, releasing all of the air from the lungs. The shoulders relax down to the earth. And the hands come down by the sides, maybe closing the eyes here if you like. And focusing on your breath. Not trying to control the breath. Just breathing freely. Inhaling and exhaling. Letting the mind rest. Maybe placing a count to your breath, inhaling for a count of 4, and then exhaling for a count of 5 or 6. Lengthening through the exhales, signaling your parasympathetic nervous system to relax and to rest. And when you're ready, we'll let the breathing come back to its normal rhythm. Inhaling until the body feels the need to inhale. Exhale and exhaling until the body feels the need to inhale. Releasing control, letting the body do what it knows how to do. Noticing those pauses between the inhales and exhales and resting there for a moment. Giving yourself that space. Letting the mind slow. And as you're ready, we'll gently blink the eyes open. Begin to wiggle through fingers and toes. And we'll draw the right knee into the chest, pulling it in with the hands, grasping the hands behind the thigh or on top of the shin, whatever is comfortable for you, but trying to keep the shoulders rooted down to the earth, flat to the earth. Inhaling and exhaling. And after a few deep breaths here, we'll take the knee out to the right, opening through the hip, just letting gravity gently guide the knee down to the earth, not pushing or pulling or straining, just gently allowing the hip to open, keeping the left hip rooted down to the earth. And we'll draw the right knee back in through center, taking a deep inhale, pulling the knee in, and then dropping the foot down to the earth. We'll slide it along the left. We'll draw the left knee into the chest, hugging it in, hands behind the thigh or on the shin, flexing through the feet. Staying with those deep breaths, breathing deep into the lower belly. Long, slow exhales, lengthening through the exhales wherever you can. And we'll take the knee out to the left. Again, just letting gravity gently guide the hip open. Slowly coming back through center, we'll hug the left knee in again. Then dropping the left foot down to the earth, we'll trace it along the right, taking both legs out long, maybe rocking the hips side to side, rocking the legs side to side. And we'll hug the right knee into the chest once again. Taking the right foot high to sky, this time straightening through the right leg. Pressing almost like you could press on the ceiling. And we're going to bend through the right knee and take right ankle above the left knee and open through the hip, making that figure 4 with the legs. Just letting the knee gently relax, the hip open, maybe feeling a pull through the right thigh. Taking a few deep breaths here, bringing the palms face down to the earth. Shoulder blades go back and down the spine. And as we inhale, we're going to lift the left leg off of the earth and exhale to lower down. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. And just flowing with your breath here, inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Making the movement slow and controlled. Making sure not to fling, but really controlling those movements. Taking 2 more here. And then lowering down, taking a breath. We'll unfurl the right leg, taking the foot high to sky again. And then exhaling, we'll slowly lower down. Taking a moment here to notice the right hip versus the left, maybe wiggling side to side. Coming to stillness, taking that long, deep breath and long, slow exhale. And when you're ready, we'll hug the left knee into the chest. And we'll take the left foot high to sky. Flexing again, like you're pressing on the ceiling. Palms are face down into the earth. Shoulder blades are back and down the spine. And we'll cross left ankle over right knee, opening up through the left knee. Taking a few breaths here, letting the hip gently open. Feeling that pull through the thigh. And on your next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg to sky and exhale to lower. Inhale, exhale. And flowing with your breath on this side. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Maybe taking a moment to notice the differences in your hips here. Feeling that strength in your body. Taking 2 more. And exhaling down, taking a breath with the leg of the earth. Unfurling the left leg, taking the left foot high to sky, and then slowly lowering left leg down to the earth. Shaking the hips out, maybe rolling the legs back and forth. Take a deep breath here, noticing the body, noticing how the muscles and the joints feel. And when you're ready, we'll hug one knee into the chest and then the other, giving yourself a hug here, rocking from side to side. Maybe making small circles with the knee, giving your lower back a nice massage here as you feel it pressing into the earth, going in one direction and then going in the other. What we do to one side of the body, we do to the other. Equal and opposite movements. And then hugging the knees into the chest, coming to stillness. We'll gently roll to our right sides. Taking a deep breath here and then slowly rising up to our tabletop position. Bringing wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, finding that nice long spine. We'll drop the belly to inhale, pulling the chest through. Exhaling, we'll push the earth away, rounding through the upper spine. Inhaling to drop the belly. Exhaling, push the earth away, arch through the spine for cat. Flowing with the breath. Going as fast or as slow as you like. Exaggerating the movements if you like. Really feeling what your body needs today. You can reverse the breath as well if you like. Inhaling to arch through the spine and exhaling to pull the chest through. Just seeing what feels good to you today. And after we take a few more, we'll gaze at each hip, stretching through the sides of the body. And then taking the knees wide and the toes to touch. We'll send the hips back towards the heels, the fingertips out long, and forehead, chin, or chest comes down to the mat for our wide-legged child's pose. Stretching long here. Inhaling through the front of the body and exhaling, the hips settle down towards the heels, creating that wave-like motion of the breath. Deep inhales, long, slow exhales. Taking one more deep breath here, and then we're going to rise back up to our tabletop. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. We'll tuck our toes here and send our hips high to sky for downward dog. Finding your downward dog here, fingertips face forward on the mat. Feet are hip width apart, gazing at belly button or tops of thighs. The head hangs heavy. We can bend through one knee and then the other, beginning to loosen up through the backs of the legs, through the hips, trying to broaden through the shoulder blades if you can, bringing the insides of the elbows to face slightly out, not facing the front of the room, but just slightly turned. And we'll come to stillness, And maybe bending into both knees, sending the hips a little bit higher to sky, lengthening through the spine. And we'll slowly begin to walk the fingertips back towards the feet. Hanging here in our forward fold, folding from the hip creases. The hands can come down to the shins, the earth, or a block. Just being gentle with yourself in our first forward fold of the day. And planting the feet firmly into the earth. We'll gently begin to rise up vertebrae by vertebrae. Taking your time, going slower than you think you need to. Deep breath. Head and neck are the last to come up. Taking a deep breath once the chin is level. We'll bend through both knees, taking the arms out wide and fingertips up towards sky. And exhaling down. Inhaling, bending through the knees, deep breath. Exhaling down. One more time, deep inhale, and as we exhale, we'll swan dive the arms out to the sides, folding from the hip creases, going slowly, letting the palms fall down to the earth, letting the head hang heavy. Taking 2 deep breaths here. And then on your next inhale, we'll halfway lift, drawing the elbows into the sides of the ribs, finding that nice, long, straight spine. Feet are planted firmly into the earth. Gentle bend in the knees. Deep breath. And on your next exhale, we'll fold forward. Hands can come down to the earth. If you'd like, you can grab opposite elbows here and sway side to side, bending into one knee and then the other. And when you're ready, we'll let the palms fall down to the earth. And we'll begin to walk ourselves back out to our downward dog. Finding your downward dog here, we're going to bring balance into the left foot and raise right leg high to sky. Inhaling the knee into the chest and planting the foot between the palms. Staying high in your lunge here, you can bring your palms to blocks if you like. Pulling the chest through, the gaze can come up just a bit. Stretching through the hip. We'll drop the left knee down to the earth. Maybe walk the right foot out just a bit, leaning forward again into your lunge. Here we can walk our hands up to the thigh and maybe come just a little bit deeper into that lunge. If you like, we'll bring our hands back to the earth. We'll walk the right hand inside of the right foot. Left hand, palms come down to the earth. You can take the right foot to the side of the foot and the knee out to the side just a bit if you like. Maybe you can walk the left foot back, leaning forward into that hip. Deep breaths. If you like, you can come down to the forearms here. And if you're on the forearms, we'll slowly come back to the palms, and then we'll slowly rise the hips back up. The right foot comes flat to the earth. We'll make our way back up to the knee. And leaning forward into the lunge once again, shoulders back and down the spine, chest pulls through. And bring the hands to the earth, either side of the right foot, tucking the left toes. We'll lift back up into our high runner's lunge, dropping the left heel down to the earth. We'll take the arms behind us, floating the chest off of the thigh. And then inhaling up for warrior one. Deep breaths. On your next exhale, we'll draw the palms through heart center and open up to warrior two. Gazing over right fingertips. We'll drop the left hand down the back leg, swooping right arm overhead for reverse warrior. Coming back to warrior two. We'll cartwheel the hands down to the earth and step right foot back to meet the left in down dog. Dropping one knee down to the earth, and then the other will take the knees wide, the toes to touch as we come back down to our child's pose. Deep breaths, finding that rhythmic motion of the breath. Slowing the mind. Noticing thoughts as they come in and letting them pass. Just coming back to your breath, coming back to your body. Noticing the hips and the shoulders. Not assigning any feeling or any relationship to the body. Noticing. We'll slowly rise back up to tabletop as you're ready. We'll tuck the toes and we'll send the hips high to sky once again. Bringing the weight into the right foot, we'll lift left leg high to sky. Drawing the knee into the chest, landing the foot between the palms. Moving the feet to come high into your runner's lunge. Breathing here. We'll drop the right knee down to the mat. And we'll slowly raise our fingertips to the left thigh. Sinking down into your lunge here. Maybe you need to scoot your left foot forward. Finding where you can feel that nice stretch through the top of the right thigh, through the right hip. Long, deep breaths. We'll bring the hands back to the earth, coming into your low lunge. And maybe move the left hand inside the left foot. The left foot comes out just a bit. And rolling onto the side of the left foot, we can open up through the left knee. Maybe scooting the right knee back a bit. Just listening to your body, seeing where your hips feel comfortable. And after a few breaths here, maybe coming down to the forearms. We'll slowly come back onto the left foot. Moving the left hand outside of the left foot, coming back into that low runner's lunge. And then tucking the right toes, coming back into our high runner's lunge, pulling the chest through, finding your balance. We'll drop the right heel down to the mat. We'll float the chest off of the thigh, taking the arms behind us. And then inhaling, we'll rise up to warrior one. Shoulder blades go back and down the spine, reaching tall through the fingertips. And on your next exhale, we'll draw the palms through heart center and open up to warrior two. Gazing over left fingertips. We'll drop right hand down the back leg, taking left arm overhead for our reverse warrior. Rising back to warrior two. And as you're ready, we'll cartwheel the hands down to the mat, stepping left foot back to meet the right in downward dog. Dropping one knee down to the mat, then the other, toes to touch, and coming back into our child's pose. See if you can get the hips just a little bit closer to the heels. Maybe the chest comes down a little bit closer to the mat. If your forehead is down to the earth, rocking the head side to side. As you're ready, we'll come back to our tabletop. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Long spine, tucking the toes. We'll send the hips high to sky, finding your downward dog. Taking a few breaths in your downward dog. We'll raise our right leg high to sky. We'll draw the knee into the chest and then place the knee behind the right wrist, taking the foot behind the left wrist or wherever is comfortable with your knee, not forcing anything. We're going to take our left leg, bring it to the center of our mat, and then we're going to slowly walk ourselves up, drawing the chest through, maybe placing blocks underneath your hands here, giving you a little bit more support and stability. And gently beginning to come into our pigeon. We'll walk our hands down, and then beginning to walk the forearms down. And maybe we stay here, or maybe you bring your head all the way down to the earth. Fingers stretch out long. And beginning to rest here in your pigeon pose. Feeling that nice stretch through the hips. Feeling the connection with the earth. Deep breath. We'll slowly begin to make our way up, coming from our forearms to our hands, walking ourselves back through middle, maybe using your blocks here for support. And then if you like, we can bend through the left knee, maybe capturing that left foot, maybe pulling it in. Noticing your hips, not going too far. Maybe we can even raise our right hand overhead, finding your beautiful mermaid poses. We'll release the left leg down, Walking the hands back to the earth. Tucking the left toes, we'll scoot the hips forward. And then tucking the left toes. Sending the right leg high to sky back behind you. And bringing the right foot down to the earth. Taking a few deep breaths in your downward dog. And then sending the left leg high to sky. Drawing the left knee into the chest. And then placing the left knee behind the left wrist. Again, the left ankle can come behind the right wrist. We'll take our right foot, drawing it to the center of the mat. Taking a few breaths here, and then walking the hands back. Keeping the hips facing forward. If you like, you can place a block or a cushion underneath the hip just to give you a little bit of support. Then as you're ready, start walking yourself down. Coming to the hands, the forearms, and maybe dropping the head down to the earth. Settling in, finding where you're comfortable, and then focusing on the breath. Lengthening through the exhales where you can. We'll slowly begin to make our way up. Coming back from the forearms to your hands. Taking a breath there, and then walking the hands back. And bringing your palms to a block or to a pillow. And if you'd like, we'll bend through the right leg. Drawing it up, capturing the foot if you can. And if you feel comfortable and stable, we're going to lift the left hand to sky. Finding a beautiful mermaid pose. Lowering down as you're comfortable. Hands come back to the earth, moving any props out of the way. And we'll tuck our right toes. We'll send our hips forward, maybe a few times, and then coming into our downward dog, taking our left leg high to sky, and then bringing it back down to earth, wiggling through the hips, shaking your tail, and then coming to stillness, finding your breath. We'll slowly bend one knee down to the earth and the other, crossing the feet at the ankles. We'll roll over to a seat and making your way back down to the earth. Letting the spine fall gently down to the earth. Soles of the feet can rest on the earth. Just taking a moment here. We'll draw one knee into the chest, then the other, rocking from side to side. We'll take the arms out to the T, Knees over to the left, gazing over right fingertips. Shoulders are flat to the earth. Deep breaths here. Slowly drawing the knees back through center. We'll take them over to the right, gazing over the left fingertip. Deep breath. With each exhale, maybe twist a little bit more, finding all those nice cracks and pops in the spine. Slowly drawing the knees back through center, giving them a hug. Maybe taking any final pose you like here, maybe a happy baby. Bringing peace fingers to the big toes and the knees out wide, rocking side to side. Maybe straightening through one leg and the other, maybe both legs. And then coming back into your happy baby, finding stillness, drawing the elbows out and the knees even closer to earth. And we'll draw the feet into touch, drawing the heels close to the hip bone. And then slowly lowering the feet down to the earth. Staying in your reclined butterfly today. Taking the hands out to the side. And if you like, you can stay here for your final resting pose of Shavasana. Just getting a little bit of an extra hip opening, letting gravity do the work for you. Or if you like, you can take one leg out long and then the other. Gently closing your eyes here, taking the shoulder blades back and down the spine. Palms face up to receive or face down for grounding, taking whatever you need. This is your practice. We'll gently drift off into our yogic sleep or shavasana. If the knees are still in butterfly, we'll gently close them like a book, drawing one knee into the chest and then the other, rocking from side to side. We'll gently roll to our right sides, using our right arm as a pillow. The left arm comes down to the earth, feeling that earth beneath you, around you, support knowing that it's always there for you if you need a moment to breathe through, to find that calm and that peace. Finding that space. As you're ready, we'll slowly begin to rise up to a comfortable seat, letting the head and neck come up last, keeping the eyes closed. We'll draw the palms into the chest, thumbs into heart center. And taking a deep breath here, drawing a thought of gratitude to your mind. That thought of gratitude with you throughout your day, letting it bring a gentle smile to your face. As we draw our palms to the forehead center, and balance enormous. Thank you. Have a great day. Have a great week.